can you tell me the established stars who treated the Carpenters the best, who always gave them moves, always treated them with respect, shook their hand, thanked them afterwards, that kind of thing? Who are the shining examples of how to treat people?
So many. Right off the bat, Ricky and Robert. James, even when I was in Kansas City, starving, Crockett, one show a month, would come out there to Kansas City, and he'd bring his top guys, Road Warriors, Midnight, and it would sell out. And it would be fun. It was funny because I would be on the phone all week to Ricky and Robert and tell them how bad it is in Kansas City. Well, when they got there, the place is sold out. And Ricky would say, George, what are you talking about again? And I said, yeah, but y'all have to leave. I don't get to. But Ricky, especially Ricky, he would always come up to me in the dressing room and say, well, he really wouldn't say anything. And he would always try to give me money. He knew that I was starving, in Kansas City. And he would always, and he's always been that way. I tell you a quick story, Jane. When I first started with Crockett, everybody was making money except me. And I was just wanting to be one of the boys. Well, there was no Rolex watches for the boys, but what it was, Nelson Royal, who was former NWA champ, he owned a Western store in Mooresville, North Carolina, about 40 minutes outside of Charlotte. It's still there. People can come into Charlotte and go there, and his wife owns it. The NWA World Belt's hanging in that Western store. But before TVs, all of the top guys would go in Nelson's store, because back then everybody wore the rattlesnake cowboy boots, $600 a pair. Well, I would always pray, I hope we don't stop at Nelson's. I hope we don't stop at Nelson's. I had no money. So we go in with Ricky and Robert and Billy Jack Haynes, and they would buy 4 or 5 pair of those rattlesnake boots. And I never, I'd act like I was shopping, Jay. So one day, Nelson gave up. Well, I know Ricky bought them for me, is what I'm saying. But Ricky had a pair of boots on. A couple days later, Atlanta TV, the boots that I just saw everybody buy. Atlanta TV, I just love those cowboy boots. I always loved cowboy boots, Jack. Never could afford them. I looked at Ricky Morton. I said, wow. I said, I love those cowboy boots. And James, he looked at me at Atlanta TV and he said, do you want them? And I said, Ricky, don't play with my heart like that. He said, you can have them. They were brand new. He said, come to my house tomorrow and you can have them. Next morning we get back, TV, James, I'm driving. I said, I'm going to kill Ricky Morton if he's playing a rib on me. Okay. I get there and he gives me those cowboy boots. Now, listen to this. You're talking about a Kevin Costner movie. So, James, I've held on to these boots for 37 years. I had them in my house. 3 weeks ago in Fort Mill, South Carolina, Ricky and Robert's there. We go out to eat the night before. And so I have a box. Nobody knows what's in those boxes. So right before we eat, I stand up and I said, I want to make an announcement. Everybody looks at me like, George, shut up and eat. And I asked Ricky Morton's boy, Kerry James, to come up to the front of the room. Nobody knows what I'm going to do. And I give those same boots to Ricky Morton's boy. So, James, 37 years later, Ricky Morton couldn't believe it. He's crying. I'm crying. A bunch of sissies. But I gave those boots back. And that's how much money the Jim Crockett territory was making. So Ricky and Robert right off the bat. The Armstrong family always took so good care of me. I used to tell Bullet Bob that I want to be an Armstrong. He thought I was crazy. I may be the only underneath guy that has lost to every Armstrong. I think every one of them beat me. But Ricky and Robert right off the bat, so good.
I've talked to Ricky Morton. I've talked to Kerry as well. Both so nice. I mean, Kerry's like the most...
And Ricky's still to this day.
Yeah. Kerry's like the most polite lad in the world. He's so nice, Kerry, as well.
He sure is.
Yeah.
I did one of these virtual auctions years ago, and I brought out an old ring jacket that I'd had back in the day, and a guy buys it. No big deal. I signed it. We shipped it to him. The guy's happy. I'm happy because I made a good lick off of it. And so 6 months go by, and I get to wrestle Ricky Morton's boy in Tennessee. And you talking about pressure again? Ricky Morton sitting ringside. Oh, there ain't no pressure there. So I'm in the ring and I'm trying to get heat. And Ricky Morton's boy, the music starts. James, he comes through the curtain with my ring jacket on. I'm telling you, I'm going to make people start crying when they listen to this. But whoever had bought it, let Ricky's boy wear it to the ring with me. And as soon as he walked through that curtain, it took my breath because I knew exactly what he had on. So just an amazing man. I love him. I text him once a week, tell him how much I love him. Do you know Ricky Morton was voted wrestler's sexiest superstar one time. And I saw the magazine going to the town. So I get to the town. I said, Ricky, and I was wanting to play a rib on him. I said, man, do you know you were voted wrestler's sexiest superstar in Bill Apter's magazine? He said, where is it? He said, I want to show my wife. So I ran back before TV and got the magazine and brought it to him, maybe $3 back then. He gave me $50. And I looked and I said, Ricky, the magazine's only $3. And he walked away. He tipped me $47. And so little things like that people say, yeah, George, that's kind of corny. I've never forgot stuff, like that. So for me to go out and I was that way with Steve Carino, boy, Colby, when we went to NWA, they already had a finish up, but I already knew the finish I'm putting his boy over right in the middle. So all these agents came up to me. I said, God, I don't care what you tell me to do. I'm going to go out there. I'm putting him, I ain't winning. And I didn't. So